first met at a Bible study. I had been going to the Bible study for about a year and a half the first night that he walked in, and a mutual friend of ours invited him.
Because there were single girls there. So I showed up at the door, and there's these 3 girls off in the corner, and a long brown-haired girl sitting over there. Okay. Hi.
Quite interesting and random, not something that you really imagine, like, oh, when I first meet the right one, this is how it's going to look.
We ended up playing this game. All the groups have games that you get to know one another at, and somehow I ended up having to ask permission of my foot to talk all night.
Yeah, one of those kinds of games. So Joel ended up getting a card.
I had to sit down and, well, get on one knee and make the girl to my left cry by reading her a poem.
And the person to his left just happened to be me.
Completely outside of my comfort zone at that point.
And at this point, I really didn't know Joel because we hadn't talked or anything at this point. He was just kind of the new guy in the group. And so he gets on one knee and he starts reading this poem, kind of making eye contact with me, kind of not. So at first I'm just really
confused and uncomfortable.
And am I supposed to react? Am I supposed to do something? So he finishes the poem and I kind of finally figure out that he's directing it at me, and I laugh because I thought it was funny and random, and I didn't know I was actually supposed to cry, but it's kind of how it goes.
I was the romantic type on our first date. We worked around out in the mud and the dirt, and we planted our garden after we decided to start courting.
I didn't know, like, when Joel said that we were going to plant a garden, that it was going to be a garden, a huge garden. But we had a lot of fun. We planted a lot of different things, and it was really cool just having a project to work on together and learn how to work together a little bit. And then that evening we cooked our first meal together, and that's something we like to do together now.
She was kind of cute in her hat.
In September, Joel got Trans-Siberian Orchestra tickets, and when he told me about the orchestra, he kind of said, it's gonna be a special night. And that was my first clue.
I tried to keep it as a secret as much as possible, but
the thing that really threw me off was Joel didn't take me ring shopping.
Not telling her I'd picked it out 2 weeks before, and she was going through all the things that she wanted in a ring, and I was like, my heart was because it's sitting there in front of me, and hoping that at least some of the stuff that she's quoting is what I actually bought, but it was.
We both got dressed up, and then we headed up to St. Paul, and once we got up there, it was really beautiful outside that day. All the branches were just covered with winter frost, and the sun was just starting to set.
And kind of drove off down a little dead-end road, and she was like, oh, what are we doing here? And she, I think she knew, but that's okay.
I thought he was just taking a back road. I really didn't know that was the moment. So we pulled off to the side and got out, and there was a walking path right beside the river, and he just put his arms around me, and we watched the sunset for a little bit, and then he turned to me, and I kind of knew at that moment because I saw him check his pocket a couple times once we got out of the car. He was like, well, I'm guessing he's not checking for his wallet, so there could be a ring in there.
I had the ring in my pocket, and it was in the little bag, and I kept checking it all the time because that's one of the things that you don't really want to lose during the day, so you check it probably every 20 or 30 seconds. But I was behind her, and we were just kind of holding one another, and I reached into my pocket and turned her around and got down on one knee and asked her to marry me. She tried to act surprised, but she said yes.
It was just a really special moment. The sun was setting and the river was beautiful, and I'll never forget it.
Went to the concert, and I got a hug from one of the guys at the door. I was like, she said yes. I was like, to the real question? It's like, yeah. It's like, oh, congratulations. He gave me a big hug, which also made me uncomfortable. But yeah, we spent the afternoon together, the evening together, just the two of us, which was really nice. So.
What I love the most about Joel is that he's very real. He doesn't pretend to be something he's not, and he's always been very open and honest in our relationship. And I know that I can depend on him.
She's hot. We share a lot of the same heart, and it's a companion. She's a very good companion.
He's got these smoldering eyes that just, oh my gosh, arms that just, But I have found that I really like his shaved head. And now he knows that I like it shaved, not little buzz cut, but shaved, because I like it.
Next.
4. We'll work together.
She's a budgeter.
Yeah.
I'm not. As evidenced by the fact that I had to walk all the way across the supermarket to save 10 cents on a tomato.
The other one was cheaper. I like to have things organized, but you do too.
Mm-hmm. I just like to wear shoes in the house.
But he likes to wear shoes in the house.
Frowned upon in this establishment.
Frown. I'm the sentimental one.
Not terrible.
But you're romantic. He's logically romantic.
Mm-hmm.
I am sentimental.
What does that mean?
He's open for discussion. A family. We both want to have a family, and we both want to create a place for people to come to, just to find a haven, a place to rest and explore their faith in God and just who God has created them to be. Don't really know exactly the structure of that, but it'll be an adventure figuring it out.